Good morning and welcome to Iridium Rock and Metal Reviews. Today I'm going to review a new release. It's Gathering of Kings and Discovery. Now, you might know a bit about this project if you like. This is the second album by Gathering of Kings. And what it is, it's a collaboration of a lot of really good melodic rock, or heavy rock if you like, out of Sweden. So it's Ron and Nina Dahlgren. They brought this project together, and yeah, they brought out an album last year that was called First Mission, and it was a really good album, consisting of a lot of different vocalists out of different bands, a few musicians as well out of Eclipse, Crash Diet and Master Plan. So you can see there's some real talent on that first album. And this second album, exactly the same sort of idea. I believe they've been touring as well, Gathering of Kings, so it's become more of a band project, but they're still, for the albums, they're getting in these vocalists from other bands. So on this album, they brought in the advanced vocalist Rick Eltsey. They've also brought in, this is going to be hard to pronounce, Apollo Pathanegos, it might be different than that, from Spiritual Beggars, Johnny Lindqvist from Nocturnal Rites, Alexander Frisborg, Tobias Johansson. So obviously they're using a lot of different vocalists, and so, for some people this sort of project is not their cup of tea. I can understand that. Different vocalists, it cannot be for everyone, you know, and sometimes it's not for me and sometimes it doesn't work. But I've got to say, with Gathering of Kings, it's something that does really work, because they're not using vocalists from totally different genres. They're all from that sort of melodic AOR type genre, so it fits. It really does. So let's get on to what the album sort of sounds like. So great vocals from all the vocalists, but the standout vocalists for me are Johnny Lindqvist and Tobias Johansson. They, on their songs, they really shine. You know, I've got to say that the vocals across the album are really good, but those vocalists in particular, for me, you know, I think they really shine on their songs. And they, even though there's a real consistency across all the songs on this album, when they sing, it sort of brings it up a notch. You know, it really does shine on those songs. So it's really great. And what you get in here, if you haven't heard the first album, is late 70s, early 80s, that sort of sound. Definitely in the AOR sort of category, heavy melodic rock. I wouldn't just call it melodic rock. It's definitely heavy rock there. You know, the songs have got that sort of definitely got that structure where it's more geared towards the heavy rock fan, but very catchy, really catchy. The keyboards are used just right. You know, they're not at the forefront, but they're alongside the guitars, and it works really great. You might get synthesizers along with the verses and, well, all across the song really, but I think they've got it just right where, you know, it's not overtaking the song, but if it was taken out, the balance, you know, it just wouldn't sound right. It really feels the structure of the songs. If you want, I don't like comparing bands, obviously a lot of people don't, but you know, if you like bands like I don't know, Work of Art, One Desire, and definitely elements of the Alan Londe projects, I really like those albums. You can hear a bit of that sort of sound in here. I'm not going to say they sound exactly like them, but you know, if you want to try them out and you like those bands, there's a good chance you might like these as well. So yeah, so late 70s, early 80s, there's melody all through this album. There's catchy songs all the way through. As soon as I was listening to each song, the chorus was in my head until the next one came on, and that one was in my head, and all the way through. Yeah, so that's the sort of music you're getting. Perfect music for, you know, top down in the summer. You know, it's brilliant. You know, it's that sort of sound. Really good. So let's get on to the actual the songs themselves. Some of my favourites. Well, it starts off with an instrumental song. So just introducing the album for a minute, bit of keyboard and stuff. So we can't really count that one. But when you're getting into the actual songs, this is another one that, like I did a review yesterday for another album, Firewind. This is a bit like that, where it gets stronger as the album goes on. Even though there was absolutely nothing wrong with a couple of the tracks at the beginning, which are Riders of the Light, Heaven on the Run. That was really good. But then it really goes into its full stride, this album, and it gets better and better. Let's look at some of the highlights for this. So you can see, so the fourth song on it, called December, is it's got the Nocturnal Rites vocalist, who's Johnny Lindvist, who's, what I said earlier, was probably one of my favourite vocalists on the album. As soon as this kicks in, his voice just lifts this song. Excellent vocalist. And it's the solo on this is nice and melodic as well. You know, I'm not into the speed solo in so much, the shredding, even though it's nice to hear someone doing it now and again. But this is all about tuneful, melodic songwriting and solos, you know, and that's what you get near enough with every one of these songs. And then you get like a spate of songs from about track 4 to track 8. So you get Highway to Paradise, which is track 5. That's a really good one. The one that got away is like the ballad of the album, even though every one of them is very, very melodic. This is like the ballad. It slows it down a bit. There's a piano start at the beginning, so there's a real European AOR sound. A really good strong vocal on here by Tobias Johansson. And you know, slow songs or ballads, if you like, are the most difficult for vocalists to execute, because it leaves more to show your voice off, or if you're not a good singer, it can show your voice off in a bad way. But he does a brilliant job on this, Tobias Johansson. And then you get, like I said, all the way to track 8 is, I think it's pronounced Lorelei, on track 7. That's Tobias Johansson's song again. Then Moonlight, Johnny Lindvist is back in it. Very 80s sound on this. Very 80s. 80s was when I was growing up as a teenager, and this is my favourite decade of music. And this, straight away, as soon as this song Moonlight comes on, you're just transported back to the 80s. It would have been a massive hit back then. You know, obviously now, you know, not so much because of just the way the music has changed. But back then, it would have been a big hit in the 80s. And that Moonlight has scored for me, because I tried to score every song on first listen. That was the biggest score for me. It was my strongest song on the whole album. You got Revelation, which is a bit different. Number 9 Revelation track on here. A little bit bluesy, I would say. A little bit old Whitesnakey, that sort of sound. Definitely not vocal wise, but the song had that bluesy, bit of a different tempo to it, a slight bluesy sound to it. Wasn't one of the keenest song for me, but then it ends strong again. Tracks 10, 11 and 12. Kiss from Above is track 10. Really catchy, really a real catchy song again. They all are. From a whisper to a scream. Tobias Johansson yet again on the vocals, bringing this song right up there. And it closes with a real strong song. One of the catchiest, but the most, I suppose, epic-y sort of song on the album. 6-minute song. Very late 70s elements to it, but the 80s catchiness with it as well. Real good mixture. And, you know, that was a real good closeout to the album. Perfect closer, really. So yeah, I think this is really good. Also, what you get, it's not just all about guitar solos. There's a bit of a mixture between guitar and keyboard on the solos, which is cool, because it's not, you know, I think it's good to sometimes have that sort of mixture of stuff going on. It's not all the same. Sometimes you get a guitar, sometimes you get a keyboard. You know, I think they've done a really good follow-up to the first album here. You know, I liked Gathering of Kings anyway, and this is a perfect follow-up, really. It fits right in with it. So I really recommend this to anyone who's into that AOR, melodic, heavy rock music. Yeah, give this a go, because you won't be disappointed. Honestly, really good, really good. And I'm going to just score it, even though it's not that easy. What I did, I scored each song and then just done an average of the score. I thought that was probably the best way of doing it. I worked out as an 8 out of 10, so that's really strong. You know, that's a really strong album, that. Definitely recommend this. Really recommend it. So go out and get it. And that's it from me. So I might be doing some more album reviews. I might do a reaction later as well to some songs that some of you guys and girls have been asking for. But I hope you enjoyed the review. Please tell me what you think of the Gathering of Kings album in the comments below. If you want me to review anything else, let me know. Right, cheers till I see you again.